let's turn to Misty Marris. Misty, I didn't know that I had an opportunity to speak with you this afternoon. I love this, Misty, because you understand how all of this works. Many questions were raised when we saw authorities hit both of his homes at the same time. Misty, you and I have talked about this before. Feds do that so that one home can call the next, correct?
Absolutely. They want to ensure that there's no opportunity for evidence to be destroyed or hidden or taken out of that location. So this was a significant and coordinated effort. Keep in mind that the investigation is coming out of the Southern District, New York. So that means the federal government, in this case, Homeland Security, coordinated efforts with boots on the ground in both Miami and Los Angeles to conduct these raids. And when you see all that manpower, you know, these dramatic videos that you're showing, there's a reason for that. Part of the reason is, as you just flagged, to ensure that evidence doesn't have the opportunity to be destroyed before they go in. And also the level of arms and the level of manpower, that leads me to believe that they thought there was the potential for resistance, or maybe had information that there were weapons in those houses. So this is just the first step in the course of what seems to be an ongoing investigation.
And Misty, talk to us quickly, because there was a lot of brouhaha on social media about, oh, they did this to Puffy. They don't usually do this to people with this heavy military type force. But that's not true. We have seen this type of action happen before in cases where they don't know what a person they're investigating may or may not have, correct?
Absolutely. And especially, you know, we're talking about the Southern District, New York. They're not doing this type of thing for, for show. There's absolutely something. There has to be some merit. There has to be some reason. And we'll get a lot more information if and when the affidavit that serves as the subject of the warrant, that's the basis for it, that was presented to the judge and was signed off upon in order to conduct these raids. We'll know exactly what they went in there looking for. Definitely electronics. But to your point, very astute. This is something that happens if there's the potential for guns or weapons to be involved or in the home. And keep in mind, in some of those civil lawsuits, the most recent one filed by Rodney Jones, a producer, he had made those allegations. So there could have been some veracity to that. And that's why you see them going in this manner and with arms.
And Misty, you brought that up, so I do want to go through that timeline for our viewers because we've talked about this before. Of course, Rodney Jones being the most recent allegation and charge against Mr. Combs, to which he has said he is not guilty. November 16th in 2023, Cassie filed a rape and sex trafficked her over 10 years. Allegations in November 23rd, 2023. Joy Dickerson Neal, she said that she was raped and drugged in 1991. Jane Doe, raped more than 30 years ago. That was filed in 2023. In December of 2023, Jane Doe number 2 says that she was 17 when he raped her 2 decades ago. And then, of course, you just mentioned Rodney Lil Rod Jones, who says that he was sexually harassed and drugged by the music mogul in 2024. Misty, allegations alone do not a criminal charge make. What will be necessary before we actually see criminal charges against P. Diddy?
You're absolutely right. Allegations in a civil complaint are not going to form the basis. But keep in mind, and I'm going to look at the Cassie lawsuit and the Lil Rod lawsuit and put them in a separate bucket, because those alleged what would be federal type crimes if they were to have any veracity. And Lil Rod, I pay specific attention to that, because the allegations in his complaint are from 2022 and 2023. That's not that long ago. He referenced videos, photographs, things that he had that he said in this complaint he was going to turn over to law enforcement. So there has to be something to corroborate those types of allegations. And that information has to be, at this juncture, probable cause, meaning probable cause that a crime was committed and probable cause that there would be evidence relating to those crimes at these locations. So this is the investigation phase. The next step would be an indictment. Now, that depends on what the investigation yields. So we'll have to wait and see. But this is certainly, you know, the SDNY, they have a 99% conviction rate. They take their time and they button up their cases. So I think we'll probably see something coming down the road.
And Misty, you and I can definitely guarantee to our viewers that Mr. Combs will have the best legal representation possible.
Of course. I mean, he has a really great legal team. I know Ben Brafman had said that he's stepping aside, or that he was a former client. I think he told Ashley Banfield on this network. But He has the resources to have the best lawyers with the expertise in these types of complex racketeering, sex trafficking type cases. This is a specialized area, and he's going to have an outstanding legal team, I'm sure.
Misty Marris, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. Thank you.
Thank you.